Hello, in this video, we're going to practice making and counting numbers from 1 to 20. I encourage you to use counters like pennies and set them up in a 10 frame to follow along with this video. So let's begin by making the number 7. So if we have the number 7 and we are building numbers on our 10 frame, we're going to start by dragging over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in a 10 frame, we always fill first 5 at a time. 5. Now we can go to the next row. 6 and 7. So right there, we have the number 7. We have used 7 counters. If we go for a bigger number, and let's go ahead, and this time, let's make the number 16. We're going to drag 16 counters over, and remember, we're going to fill the top row first. 1, 2, count with me, 3, 4, 5, beginning the next row, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you can see, we call this a 10 frame because it filled all 10 of these spots. And when you see a full frame, you know it has a value of 10. So we're at 10 and we're going to start our next frame starting with number 11. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and finally, 16. So when we build the number 16, you can see that we have one full 10 frame plus 6 more counters for a total of 16. Take a look at the next 10 frame. I want you to count how many counters are in this frame. Do that now, and then we're going to check your answer to see if you're right. If you said there are 8 counters in this 10 frame, that's an excellent answer. But now I'm going to ask you some additional questions. What number comes before the number 8? What number comes directly in front of the number 8? If we were counting our 10 frames, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you know that the number 7 comes directly before the number 8. If I asked you what number would come next in the 10 frame, if we were to fill in this spot that the green arrow is pointing to, the number that comes after 8 is, take a second to count. If you said 9, you are correct. So I'm going to be showing you some 10 frames and then asking you what number comes before and after the given number. Here we have another number. The first thing I need you to do is to count the amount of counters on the screen and tell me what number you have. Let's do that now. Write the number down. If you said you have the number 13, then you did some excellent counting. My next question is, what number comes directly before the number 13? What number comes directly before? Some of you may know that number right away. Others may have to count. And if you need to count, start at the first counter and you're counting to the number that comes directly before the 13. So to where the green square is. Take a second to find the answer. If you said the number 12, that's more great counting. 12 comes directly in front of the number 13. So we know that this is 12, and we know the next number is number 13. The next thing I need you to do is tell me what number comes next. So if we were to move a counter into this green box right here after the number 13, what number would that be? Take a second to count. 14 is the correct answer. 14 comes directly after the number 13. In order to practice this skill, I would like you to use your counters at home to make different numbers. Then tell me the number that comes directly before and after. We're going to do one more practice together. Take a look at the 10 frames on this screen. Count the number of red counters that you see. Let's do that now. If you said that there were 19 counters, once again, great counting. Now that you know there are 19, I need you to tell me the number that comes directly before the number 19. We'll give you a second to count again. "18" comes directly before 19. And what number comes directly after the number 19? You can think of it as adding one additional counter. And if you said 20, that is great counting. Another way to look at this is 2 full 10 frames, if we're counting by tens, gives us a total of 20. One full 10 frame is 10. Another full 10 frame is 10 more. 10 plus 10 is 20. Now it's time to practice what we have learned in this video. You are going to need a piece of paper and a pencil to record your answers. So if you need to go and get a paper and pencil, pause the video and come back. Once you have your paper and pencil ready, I need you to number your paper from 1 to 6. So that means on the side of your paper, you're going to number your number so you know which ones we're talking about. 1 to 6. Do that now. If you need to pause this video at any time or rewind it to hear a question again, make sure that you do that. Here we go. Number 1. For the answer to number 1, I need you to count and tell me how many counters do you see on this 10 frame. Record your answer next to number 1. Next question, and pause if you need to. You just counted the total amount of counters. What number comes directly before the answer you just gave? I'm asking for what number is shown in the green box on your screen. Number 3. What number comes after the total number of counters? This means what number should go in the yellow box that I am drawing on your screen. We have a new set of counters to help us with the next question. For number 4, I would like you to count the number of counters on the screen. I will give you a minute to count, but pause the video also if you need to. Record your answer next to number 4. Number 5. For number 5, tell me what number comes directly in front of the number you just counted. It's represented by the blue box on the screen. What number is shown in the blue box that comes directly in front of the number you just counted? Number 6. What number comes directly after the total number of counters? So if you look at your screen, what number would be represented inside of this purple box? What number comes directly after the total number of counters? Record that as your answer to number 6. To continue to practice, you can use virtual manipulatives like the one we've been using today, or continue using pennies or other counters to count objects and tell what number comes before and after that number.